Your head was in then. Good afternoon. Can't believe it's the 9th already. Well, welcome. Live from Dragons Papercraft. And today we are going to be having a little look at one of the latest collections we've had in from Studio Light. We've got somebody with us. We've got a few coming now. So hi, Avril. That's better. I thought it was just going to be me and me. So I'll just wait for a few of you to join. Hi, Tracy. And then I'll spin the camera and we'll get creative. And I'll just finish my tea. Now, what I might do is give you a quick little whiz over the sales stuff, actually. I have got this connected to my tripod, so I'll just wait a little bit. There's Michelle. Hey, hi, Michelle again. Hi, Yvonne and Ruth. Hi, Wendy. Thank you for joining me, everyone. So, I'll just give it a minute. We've had workshop this morning, and in fact, while we're waiting for everybody to join, I'll show you what we've been making. So apart from Monday, which we've had to reschedule, we've had two workshops on Tuesday, one today, and we've been making this little card here. Apologies that it's back to front for you, but it's because you're looking at me, not down. So yeah, this is using one of Julie Hickey's. I'll just grab one to show you. This is using the Blooming Bouquet stamp set, which is $15.99. I love these larger stamps because they're great for maybe you're just going to stamp them in one colour and just have them subtly in the background, using portions of them. But really, really effective. And if you love painting and colouring, that you've got a nice chunk there to colour. So really good set. And they are on Dragons Papercraft website. So that's what we've done today. And I'm going to lift you now. Sorry for it. It's going to be a bit close. Let me flip the camera. Okay. So I'll just give you a quick whiz. Of what's left in our sales section. So we've managed to clear all the tables now, but all of these bits here down this section are all in the sale with big reductions. There's a little bit of Christmas left at the bottom there. So on Dragons Papercraft, there's a specific section, and it's always worth checking out the sales section because you're bound to find a bargain or two in there. And then if I just pan this back a little bit, because Paul did relay the whole shop just before Christmas. I wasn't in the shop for a good time before Christmas because with one thing and another, my daughter got ill and ended up in hospital. So I was at home looking after her. And yeah, I didn't come back in the shop till the 3rd of January. So that was quite a big break for me, but I didn't do any crafting at all. So that's why it's taken me about 9 days to get back into things, because it takes time for your mojo to return and your brain to get into gear. So we are packed to the rafters with all of your goodies that you need to craft. Okay, so I'm going to make my way back up to the end of the table. And we're going to have a look at, I can't remember what it's called now. Let's just spin this. There we go. Oh no, I've done it the wrong way now. There. So let's get this in position. I'm hoping it's going to be, yep, that's not too bad. Okay, so we are looking at the Love of My Life collection. It did come into the shop just before Christmas, but this is like the first opportunity I've had to be able to share and make with you. So let's we've got an 8x8 paper pad, and it has got, there's a loose bit of paper there, let's take that out. If I just turn it to the side slightly, beautiful pattern papers in here. And this is going to cover sort of like anniversary, weddings, Valentine's. You've got some solids, but look at that. I absolutely love that. You've got some plainer ones. You've got some with some scripting. And then that lovely kind of vintage floral rose collection part there. Bits of damask in the background. It's a really nice pad if you're going to make a specific, maybe you're making a memory album or something, maybe it's for a wedding that has taken place as well. It's a nice album, a nice paper pad to make your albums. So to accompany that, there is the element pads. Now these are the die cut ones. Everything pops out and it's packed with embellishments, and they're so easy. These have becoming, that's not English, Hazel. These are getting so popular. You're absolutely loving them because you can shape them, you can add more ink onto them. Maybe you want to put a bit of script over there, but really nice and useful. You've got some sentiments in there as well. Absolutely packed, over 300 die cut elements that all coordinate with the paper pad. Oh, sorry, I just knocked you. To go with that, we have got 2 stamp sets. So first up, we have got borders, and that gives you a lovely script border, and then these lovely kind of floral and damask type element borders. And that's on an A6 set. And then we have got the love letter, which gives you that lovely rose, the open love letter, and you are the love of my life. That's 2 stamp sets. And then we've got this rather fabulous window mask. This is going to be so useful for so many things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few little techniques and then we'll put a card together. And I have already made a couple. It just gives you a different look on things. Then we have got the Sending Love, which is your little envelope with a little card that pops inside. You've got your hearts as well. So if I turn that over, you can get this effect here. These, again, so popular for popping on the front of your cards. Maybe you're going to have flowers bursting out of them. There's lots of elements in this collection that will work in alongside what you've already got at home and for different occasions. And then you've got this one, which gives you, this is called Rose Tag, but you've got this lovely trailing rose, trailing roses. Then you've got this lovely tag. Again, everybody uses tags. And some leaves and a single flower rose head, and also the love. So if I turn that over, you can see it a lot clearly. There you go. So they are all the elements in the collection. And I have already had a little play. This one's using the 8x8 papers and those lovely die cut elements. You can see that fabulous little envelope there, and then the little card poking inside. That's one that I made. And then I did this one with the tag. So it is the pattern papers, but I've decided to stamp onto them as well. And then we've got those lovely roses, and these are done onto craft, but then I cut the roses out in red and stuck them on top. So that's another idea. But I thought today we would do something completely different. But before we get into making a card, what I thought we would do is just have a little look at this mask. So I've just cut a couple of bits of my Media Artist card. This is the one that works really, really well with watercolouring and inks. So I'm just going to have that on there, and I'm just going to grab, and it's been a long time, but I've chosen ground espresso. And I'm just going to simply hold that down, and I'm just going to blend through. And I'm going to go with a little bit of a soft approach on this. And just take it down. Just making sure that I get into all of that detail. And that's why I do always opt for a blending brush when I'm doing stencils, because the bristles can get into the detail a lot better than a foam. Okay, so that gives us that effect, which is really nice, and you can do all sorts of colours. But if I now get the stencil and I take my ink directly, now I could get a brayer if I wanted a seamless finish, but actually I'm just going to go with this and see how it works. I'm trying to do it so I don't get any fingerprints on it, but I don't think I'll be able to do that. Then I'm going to take my piece of card, pop it on the top, and then I'm just going to run that through my die cutting machine as if it was a die. So it's my base plate with my magnetic shim on, as if I was putting a metal die through it. And I've just put a piece of card over the top just to give it a little bit extra pressure. Now, how fabulous does that look? So then I can come in with my water brush. I wonder if I can put that a little bit lower. Hold on tight. There we go. If I pop a little bit of extra ink there, grab my brush, I can come in and add ink where I want to. I'm in control and there is no rules. So I can just make darker areas. Or maybe I wanted to come in and paint all of those white areas. There really is no rules, but it's quite a nice one just to kind of lose yourself in and add some more detail to. You've got the little panels across the top that you can darken off. And that is why I opted and chose to use the Media Artist card, because it takes ink so well, and when you're using your water on it, your water brushes, it travels around the card brilliantly. So you can just, I'm just adding, picking up a little bit extra ink just to darken some of the areas off. And I will lift this up so that you can see it. Obviously it's something that you can really sit down and take your time. And then maybe you want to darken down the side here. And here. Paul, how much is this stencil mask? £4.99, an absolute bargain. Maybe I want to darken the window but keep the detail, and because I've got my fine water brush I can quite easily work around there. Keeping the detail. So if I lift that up now, you can see how you can really have fun. So you can do quick and simple, but then you can take it, look how much more dimensional that looks. And if I'd have put that through with my rubber mat, I would have got an embossed effect as well. I can feel it, you can't see it, if that makes sense. So there is a slight embossed edge just by running it through the die cutting machine. But yeah, you can put some blue in for the window panes and then start building your roses down the side. Really love that stencil. Okay, so that's one of the elements in there that I wanted to show you. And then, so for our card, I have again used my Media Artist, and I've made a 5 3/4 inch card blank. And I've got a couple of layers. This one is 5¼ inches. This one is 5 inches. So I'm going to start off with the 5¼ inch, and I'm going to grab some bundled sage, and I'm just going to blend around the edge. It's just a matte layer. I just need some green around the edge. Some people don't have space to have coloured card, and they just have one colour card and their inks, and they make their mats and layers in this way. And it's quite nice because it can all coordinate with whatever you're stamping and inking on top. So there's my layer. And when I put that on, and then onto my card, I'm going to get that lovely crisp effect. So let's do a little bit of work onto here. So first off, I have chosen Worn Lipstick, Hickory Smoke and Bundled Sage for this project. And before I start, I'm just going to clean up that brown that I had out. And I'm just going to move that down a bit, just so that you can fully see what I'm doing on the side. Okay, so we'll start off then. Going to put a little bit of Worn Lipstick on here. Add some water and just kind of smoosh that in. I don't want it all over, but I also don't want it too bright, but I quite like that spotting on there. That's going to do me. So I'm going to clean that up. And I'm going to just leave that to settle a minute before I dry it off. So then, looking at the dies, I'm going to cut one of the envelopes, one of the little tabs. Let's do a tiny heart. And then we're going to use the trailing roses and the love words. And I'm going to die cut these. So I might as well just die cut these all together on my machine. So just bear with me. Put all of them down. Sorry, it's gone quiet. It's because I'm over here. I could have got my trusty assistant to do this, couldn't I? He's like, no. Right, that's all ready to layer up. Okay, and then I'm going to need a water brush and some pink to paint and some green to paint. So that's Bundled Sage and Worn Lipstick. And then just got to bring these over. Okay. So that's our little envelope done. And then we've got these as well. So first off, when we die cut the envelope, it die cuts it and it gives you the little score line, so you can quite easily just fold these around. Now this is quite a thick card that I'm using. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some Hickory Smoke, and I'm just going to blend the edges with this envelope. It's just subtle, but it just ages it a little bit. and then a little bit around there. And I'm also going to pop some grey down there, like so. And keep tidy as I go. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this together. You just pop the outside ones in, and this then will just stick up here. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of my Studio Light tacky glue just down there, and that then will stick. Give it a minute to bond. Perfect. So there is our little envelope. And then we have got, where's them tweezers gone? A little heart. Pop that. Oh, Paul, can you have this heart in case I lose it? Now, what I did forget to tell you is that all of these elements are individually priced, but there is also a little bundle deal on there, saving you just over 10%. I'm just taking out, thank you. I'm just going slow because it's really nice and delicate. So there are some of these bits that need to come out, so I'm just going to take them away. And some of these, they're designed, they've got the cut lines so that you can kind of bend them out and shape them a little bit just to give dimension. So just using my tweezers to take out those little bits. And then we've got the little word, love. Just using those little release holes. I know what you're all probably thinking, why aren't you battering it? I tried, but it wouldn't come out. So I've got love, I've got a heart, and I've got this lovely trail. So now I'm going to add some colour to here. I'm going to start off with my green, and just, it hasn't got to be perfect, and you can leave white areas if you want to. I'm just adding some green to the stems and the leaves. You can go in and do another layer if you want to, but I'm just getting a little bit down so I can identify my foliage from my roses. And sometimes it's quite nice if you use a couple of greens so you get a little bit of variation on the colour. But depends what kind of look you're going for. Okay, so a few more. That one there, and last. So then just have a little look and see if there's any areas you want to just go over again, or just add little extra bits to. That's okay. And then I'm just going to clean my brush off and go into the pink. And again, I do start off by leaving a little bit of white, and then I go back over to give it a little bit more. See that? Oh, that's a leaf hazel. I thought it was a bud. It's that one I was going for. Nobody will know. Only you guys. Okay. So, just adding in and now I'm going over that second time just to make sure. I've done it again. Where was it? There we go. Now, this is lovely as a trailing rose, but I'm actually going to snip into it for my project, and I'm going to come in just about there and just snip that. So now I've got the two little elements that will work together. Now this little piece here, the love, what I'm going to do is use my sponge just to ink that green, and I'm also gonna do around the edge of here in green. And keep that bit tidy. And then the one that goes on top of that, I'm going to go a little kiss around the edge in the pinky colour, warm lipstick, like so. And I'm going to take, from the borders set, I'm going to take this lovely script. Now, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to put that back on there. But I'm going to take these other two borders off out of the way. And I'm going to use that as my, there we go. So I've just popped a little bit of script on there. Just see it's quite faint, but it's there. And then that we can add on to here. And then that love. Pop that on. Oopsie. Go a little bit higher. There we go. So we've got our nice little card. We've got our little envelope, so then that will just tuck in there, like so. That looks quite cute. This little heart here, I'm going to do that in, get rid of that. I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. Paint that in the same colour. And then, Paul, can I ask you something? Are you on there, or are you doing parcels? Okay. If you've asked a question and I haven't answered it, I apologise. It's just when I'm making something, I can't see the comments. So I will, in a minute, I will just, I'll scroll back and we'll have a little look and see if anybody's got any questions. And I will answer them while you're live. Okay, so I've got these elements and I've got my background that's been settling in there. Get rid of that. So I want to do some more on the background before I put it together. So I'm going to get my clean brush, put a little bit of water in there. Just add a few little flicks of hickory smoke on there. And then we can clean that up. And then let's see, shouldn't disappear. There we go. Now then, that lovely script, I think we'll have some of that in the background as well. I'm going to stick with the hickory smoke. Now what I don't want to do it upside down for a start. I'm just going to pop a little bit, so it'll only transfer down where I push. I'm going to have some down this corner. like so. And then, just wondering, I might put in, okay, let's try it. I'm going to put that one on there now. Just going to do a little bit of these other borders, but I'm going to stamp it off first so it is just really, really faint. So I just want to have a look what it looks like first. Yeah, so I can now just pop maybe a little bit there. That is faint, Hazel. That is super faint. But it's what I wanted it to be. So a bit more on there, take a bit off. And down there. So just, if you're unsure, just trial it onto a piece of scrap card first. Put that back on there. And that one. And that one. Oh, look at me being tidy. Who am I? Oh, how many of you have had this awful cold as well? So after I'd finished looking after my daughter for the 15 days that she stayed with us before Christmas, the other daughter's half decided to bring this coldy virus into the house, which has gone through us all. So I'm just about okay now, but Paul's still struggling a little bit. All right, so we will layer that one up on there. I think this collection gives something for everybody. If you like stamping and die cutting, you've got that area, and maybe creating your own backgrounds like I've done here. That's brilliant. You've got everything you need. And also you've got the added addition of the pattern papers to kind of steer you in a direction as well. So I think it's definitely best of both. I'm just going to kiss the edges of this slightly in the grey. And then we will add that down. I'm also just going to make sure that it's not wet. It looks like I'm putting lots of glue on. I'm not, because obviously it's in my little fine applicators. These are back in stock. You get 2 in a set for $2.99. These are the studio light ones, and they do come with the galvanized pins so they don't rust. Then we're going to add that layer in. Give that a really nice press to bond all of them edges, because I don't know if you're like me, there's nothing worse than a flappy, because it's been wet. The card changes when it gets wet, so just make sure you've got a nice bond on all corners so that it's lovely and flat, which that is. Okay, so now let's have a little loop. I mean, just with that on there, I think that looks gorgeous. And then we've got these lovely little roses. So maybe let's have that taller one. Just giving my thumb a little press behind each of the roses, just to give a little bit of dimension. Maybe that's going to go there. And then this, we could have that curling. You see, just by breaking it up, it allows you to manipulate it a bit more. And I actually love that just as it is. So I'm going to commit and stick. And what I'm going to do is just add, you know, I am one of these that likes to lay it down first, but then I need to get it in exactly that same position. So I'm going to do that, like so. And then I'm going to put this one in place. Add that in, like so. And then I can take that out and slip that in. I could have put this on some foam, but I feel like going to be just fine. There. Just about. Now I can make sure that those flowers are stuck. So put my pin back in onto there. Right. How gorgeous does that look? I'm going to bring these other cards in next to it because then you can see the difference by maybe you like to use papers, maybe you like to ink your own, but all from the same collection, but really quite different. And then you've got that lovely big rose as well. So there's really quite a lot in there. I think something for everybody, definitely. Right, now let's have a little skim back and see what we've got. Oh, thank you, Pam. Glad you like it. Such a pretty card. Thank you, Tracy. The flu virus is rife here to absolutely. Honestly, it's quite funny actually, because when I had to take my daughter to hospital, it was everybody had to wear a mask because every other person that was coming through the doors was just in a terrible state, not being able to breathe. It was awful. Just late joining dog walk. Oh, do you know what, Christine? I've been dog walking just lately too, and I'm loving it. I'm going to miss it today because I haven't got a dog to walk. I'm not dog sitting today.
You can walk me to the pub.
Oh, I've just been told I can walk Paul to the pub. That's fine. Pop him in to say hello. Can't stay, got a meeting. That's okay, Julie. Happy New Year to you. At least you can all watch it on catch up, watch back. What do you call it? Yeah, it will be saved to the top of the page under the featured section. It will also be transferred over to the Dragons Papercraft page, and I shall download this onto YouTube as well. So I'm just looking back. I can't see any questions, just lots of people. Ah, here we go. Are you going to be doing the new art by Marlene, and will it be on pre-order, or do we wait for release date on the 17th? Lynn, we have ordered the whole collection, and we have pre-ordered it, so it will come to us so that we've got it ready to release as soon as its release date, which is what you just said, 17th.
I think it's later than that.
Do you? I've got it written down on a piece of paper.
Let me just check.
Paul will check while we're on the phone, and then you'll know. But, oh, I don't know if you've seen a sneak peek of some of the things, Lynn, but there's a couple of items.
Yeah.
It is the 17th, yeah. Yeah, there's some really nice items. You're always up for a good shop tour. That's cool. Right, I don't think I've missed anything, but I would like to take this opportunity to say Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for joining me. And over the next week or so, you will get some more updates and lives from me, because I'm going to commit to regular lives every week. I just need to work out what the best date and time is. And to be fair, I don't think it really matters what time, because if people aren't available, they will watch it on catch up. And I'm very obviously mindful that lots of people work and can't commit to doing daytime ones, and lots of people do things in the evenings as well. So I'll do my hardest to work out a time that suits everybody. But if you can't watch me live, don't worry too much, because it's always going to be available on these pages and on YouTube. So yeah, keep an eye on the sales section. Mega bargains in there on Dragons Papercraft, and always lots of new items added. So Happy New Year. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you all soon. Bye bye.